Hi, this is Leslie Kramer with Institutional Investor Magazine, and I'm here today with Francisco D'Souza of Cognizant, which is a technology solutions provider. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Great to be here, Leslie.
So, Cognizant was the only company to finish in first place in every category in its sector on II's ranking of the top U.S. executives for 2011. So you won Best CEO, Best CFO, and Best Investor Relations Professional. What have you done to create an environment where your top executives can succeed?
Well, first of all, we are very honored to receive the Institutional Investor Magazine awards, and I think I speak for the team when I say that it was a very pleasant recognition that we received late last year. Leslie, the whole environment at Cognizant is one of collaboration. It's very fundamental to who we are as an organization, and we've built the company from the beginning around this idea that we are 105,000 people now, but we behave like one large team, collaborating globally and seamlessly across the world. So it's a very integral part of our DNA, and I think as a management team, we very much operate that way as a one single team, very collaboratively working together, both when it comes to running the business and also in our interactions with shareholders.
Great. So do you think that buy-side and sell-side analysts have changed their expectations at all about your company given the financial crisis? And are they focusing on different things than they have in the past?
Well, I think that certainly we've got a large community of buy-side and sell-side analysts that cover Cognizant, and one of the things that they're most interested in is why Cognizant, through the downturn and through the recent past, has been growing not just well, but growing in excess of our competition. We've grown faster than the industry, faster than our key competitors for many quarters and many years now, and increasingly the attention from our analyst community is, what is it that differentiates Cognizant? What is it specifically that's making you different and allowing you to grow faster than your competition? Of course, one part of the answer is the fact that we have an operating model at Cognizant where we maintain our operating margins at a target level of 19 to 20% on a non-GAAP basis, and we reinvest everything beyond that back into the business. So we have what I like to think of as an architecture for growth in the company, a business model that allows us to reinvest back in the business, and of course that reinvestment then translates into faster growth. So that's one part of the answer to the question about why Cognizant grows faster than the industry and our key competitors. But the other part of the answer, Leslie, is that we are in the midst of a significant transition in our industry. We think that there are tremendous growth opportunities that are being enabled by three forces that we together call the future of work. These forces are a new generation of technologies that are on the horizon, the so-called cloud computing, social computing, and mobile technologies, a new generation of consumers and workers, the so-called millennial generation, who've grown up with technology and as employees and as consumers have very different expectations of what they expect from technology, and a third new generation of virtual and global business models as companies look increasingly to externalize what they do, to look for partners like Cognizant and others that can operate functions on their behalf. So as we think about these three trends, together we think that these are reshaping the way work will be done in the future, and we think we sit right at the middle of these three big trends and are poised to benefit from these three trends. Great.
So during the past couple of years, companies have been downsizing, and some have been getting rid of a lot of their full-time employees and using more outsourcing services, which actually has been beneficial for Cognizant. And so as the economy improves, do you think your growth momentum will continue?
So I think that there are two sides of Cognizant, and so we think that in a way Cognizant is a company that appeals to our clients regardless of the economic environment. On the one side, you're right, when during economic downturns, clients look to focus more on operational costs, contain cost, and they look to variabilize their cost structure, so they tend to outsource more. But on the other side, as we saw during 2010, and we continue to see and expect during 2011, As we come to a more of a normal economic environment where growth is on clients' agendas, clients are looking to understand how to deploy technology to innovate and to continue to grow their top lines. And when they look to deploy technology, they look to partners like us who can help them with that deployment of technology. So we have we tend to benefit from both sides of an economic cycle, and in some senses, that's the power of the Cognizant business model.
Okay. And do you have any predictions on double dip recession versus continued growth in the economy?
You know, it's an interesting question, and I'm not an economist and I don't have a crystal ball, but I can tell you what our clients are telling us. I think at this point, when I talk to clients in the US and in Europe, our clients are telling us that the likelihood of a double dip recession is not really being factored into their plans. That they think that the likelihood of that is relatively low. We see our clients being more optimistic by the day about returning to growth in their businesses and in the key economies around the world. But we think that there are still some structural challenges that remain in economies around the world, and so our clients are being somewhat prudent in their approach. The last thing I'll say is that everyone's agenda right now is around innovation and around innovating quickly to become healthy fast. And what we have found is that in today's world, innovation and technology are synonymous. It's very hard to talk about innovation without very quickly talking about technology. And so our clients are really looking to say, how do I innovate quickly? And what that really means is they're saying, how do I get access to the best talent, technology talent in the world to be able to drive and fuel my innovation agenda?
Okay, and lastly, if you were an equity research analyst, would you advise your clients to buy shares of Cognizant, and if so, why?
You know, I wouldn't, I don't think, you know, I'm in a position to, or should be in the position of recommending that anybody purchase one equity versus the other. You know, I think what we can do and what we try to do and take the approach of providing our shareholders with you know, transparency about how we're running the business, the opportunities that we see ahead of us, the outlook we have for the business, and then let our investors make a decision about how Cognizant fits into their portfolio.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Very nice to be here. Appreciate it.